In Chicago this week, the Democrats will officially anoint Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as their radical left picks for president. The ticket is raising some serious concerns from religious leaders, citing the extreme views that Walz and Harris share on very important issues to Catholics across the nation, as well as Christians. Joining me now is Father Chris Alar, Provincial Superior of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Also with us, John Yep, the CEO of Catholics for Catholics. Thank you both so much for joining us. Father, let's start off with you first. Late-term abortion, the killing of the unborn, it seems to be a top priority for Democrats. Look at this Rolling Stone article. Tim Walz has been an unapologetic champion for abortion rights since day one. I love how they say it, abortion rights. It's a nice fancy word for killing babies. Walz signed into legislation the ability for women in Minnesota to kill their baby up until birth. Father, even allowing them to die after birth if there is some sort of botched abortion. Your thoughts on this ticket, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris?
And it's not just adult women, it is minors. At any stage of pregnancy, the life may be taken. Abortion, Minnesota has some of the most liberal abortion laws in the country. And it's not just adult women, but even minors who are pregnant do not have to notify parents. The church teaches there are 3 non-negotiables when we vote. That is the dignity of human life, the sanctity of marriage between man and a woman, and preservation of religious liberty. And Tim Walz has failed extremely much in all 3 of those categories.
John, you know, to what the father was saying, too, let's talk about children, transgenderism, which is a fancy word for mutilating a child. He signed into law, Governor Walz signed into law that you could take a parent's parental rights away. That the government would take control of your child if you refuse as a parent to mutilate your child, chemically castrate them, sterilize them. Should we be concerned that if elected, this could be instituted nationwide?
Absolutely, we should be concerned. And first, before I even go into that, let me just say it is so great to see a Catholic priest fighting for these human rights issues. We can't stay on the sidelines during this election. This is a serious thing that's at stake, and our clergy need to wake up. Now, as far as what you mentioned about gender ideology, again, as Father was saying, Catholics have non-negotiables. That means when we approach the polls, it's not whether we like this guy's tweets or we like this gal's tweets. It's about what issues, what inalienable rights do I need to defend as a Catholic in this country of America? And one of those human rights is parents' rights, parental rights. And Tim Walz has a tremendous track record of assaulting those rights, specifically through gender ideology. He's literally forcing parents or kids this surgery on these kids. They barely know what they want, and now they have the ability to permanently damage themselves for life. And he's forcing out as well. He removed the ability of school boards to take out gender ideology books from libraries, which we know what those amount to. That's basically, it's like pornography. So he's requiring that to be in schools, to be in those libraries, and we're in shock as we approach the November election.
Father, before we go, if there was any doubt what the Democrat Party stood for, we are learning that part of the festivities for the Democratic National Convention will be abortions on demand. This is true. Visitors can also get a free vasectomy at a mobile health center set up by Planned Parenthood, as well as free contraception, including in implanted ones like an IUD. Talk to me about this. And our tax dollars are paying for this. I mean, what goes through your mind, Father, that they're actually saying, come celebrate the Democrat nominees for president, vice president. While you're at it, you could kill your baby and you can chemically I just can't even wrap my brain around this.
And it gets even worse because they are not going to allow courts in the state of Minnesota to extradite anybody who is accused of illegal abortions in other states. They will not recognize criminal subpoenas from other states. They are basically giving a free ticket to crimes that are regarding any taking of human life, even up to the point of birth. And now, as you mentioned, Lidia, after birth, if there is a failed abortion, now those restrictions have been lifted as well. And so these are, I thank you to the advocates that have stepped up as well, and to be able to try to raise awareness to this incredibly deceptive platform that we're seeing on in this party.
Yeah, the way they're trying to disguise this as reproductive care. And I think that's where it starts with the language. And we have to be clear on what we're talking about here. And I praise you as well, Father Chris, for coming out and speaking out. And I pray that more members of the clergy will be as brave as you are, because I think our nation is in trouble right now.
Yeah, God bless both of you for also having a voice in this most challenging time of our nation's history.
All right, we have to leave it right there. Father Chris, Alar, John Yap, thank you both so much. All right.